Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like Somee.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review. Available for Android and iOS devices. bravocoin.com. Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast.
All right, we're live. Hey, how goes it? Ken Bozak here to talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin accessories. And today I'm with my bro, Maria Carola of Guarda.co. And we're going to be talking about the new era of wallets. How goes it, Maria?
It's pretty nice, actually. This is very Christmassy and very seasonal in here. We're being overworked developing wallets. Nothing is changing, whatever it is, Christmas, not Christmas. But it's going pretty well. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, well, that's head down dev mode in the project space right now. It's almost like reality gets put on hold, and you get like ostriched with your head in the sand that is coding, and next thing you know, you lift up and we're past the halvening. So what's going on over there with Guarda.co and your wallet? What are you so busy working on? Why do they got the whip cracking on not New Year's Eve? Wow, on Christmas Eve.
Well, we have a good tradition of being perpetually overworked, which is fine because we love what we're doing, and I think that's what matters. But overall, probably I should just say a couple words of what we're doing exactly. It's a multi-currency wallet for quite a variety of cryptos. So right now we have 48 cryptocurrencies supported.
Wow.
It's just coins and thousands and thousands of tokens. I think it's like 10,000, probably more now already. It's a lot, so you have to maintain all of that.
Do you support tokens that are on other chains other than Ethereum? Because a lot of wallets, they support Ethereum tokens, but do you support like the Tron tokens or Bitcoin Cash tokens, things to that effect?
Not Bitcoin Cash, but we support Bitcoin like Tether, for example. We support Tron. We support Ethereum. Obviously, we support Ethereum Classic.
Steemit?
Huh?
Do you support Steemit?
Steemit. I think we do, yeah.
Wow. All right, cool. I'm going to have to check this out. I've been waiting and looking for a mobile wallet that supported Steemit.
Okay, so you should definitely just give it a try.
Well, with 49 of them, I figured I had a good chance.
Would love your feedback also. So also, you talked about mobile. So we have several platforms. Web, desktop, Chrome extension, mobile for iOS and Android. And all of them have kind of, what we have been doing mostly is kind of extending the functionality of the wallet and what a wallet should be as such. So we started as a single currency application. It was back in 2017. And since then, we were kind of thinking of community demands and what the wallets should become eventually.
Right.
So this like one application or a client to manage all the cryptocurrencies all together, to like purchase, to exchange, to sell, to loan, to do all kinds of activities. And if you do it in one place, it's definitely more handy for you. So this is what we have been building. So right now it has quite some features and we're rolling out more, and this is why we're still at the office in Christmas Eve.
Well, I'll be honest, and I say this with love, I've actually never heard of Guarda before. I think your interview recently with, who was it? It might have been Omar and Heidi. I think it was Heidi, it was you, I think it was Crypto Girl. I saw an interview that you did recently, and I was like, oh, cool wallet. And then I saw you were on my calendar, and I was like, oh, even cooler. I get to talk to them. So you just got on my radar. I want to check out the wallet, so that's why I do have tons of questions. Like I was wondering about the non-fungible tokens, like NFTs, collectibles, and web browser 3.0. A lot of that, I think, wallets will become browsers to that effect, and I'm curious what you think.
Wallets becoming browsers. Well, actually, it's not something that I have been thinking about a lot, but it definitely makes sense. So actually, what should we start with? The tokens, the browsers? What exactly is the core of the question? Are you asking like whether I think that
Do you think
what?
Gora could be used as like a wallet for Web 3.0 and being like that? Because I think like there's Trust Wallet and things like that I could go and use CryptoKitties or go to and actually engage with DApps from my wallet. And a lot of browsers are becoming wallets. We have Brave and Opera.
Yeah,
They're
that's true.
they're putting wallets in their browsers, and a lot of wallets are starting to put the Web 3.0 browsers in their wallets. So I'm just
Yeah.
curious, like, where do you think that the just standard, not just Guarda in general, but cryptocurrency wallets are going in the future? Do you think that we're going to see those, wallets be more like browsers, where we engage more with the platforms inside the wallets, or
Mm, I think that actually browsers and interaction with browsers from the point of wallets has a lot of potential. We have the Chrome extension version of Guarda as well, and it has been getting some traction, definitely. And this is when you started talking about non-fungible tokens and CryptoKitties and all this stuff, like we support all of those, and we actually have been getting lots and lots of questions about the browser extension lately. So everybody seems to get like super mad about like in a good way. I mean,
right, right?
uh, about the browser wallets and like, oh, we should do that, we should do this application, that applications for them to interact to do something. So it has been quite on our radars, and I think that definitely if there is such a demand, because I'm the chief marketing officer, so I evaluate everything kind of from the point of our partners, community opinions, kind of putting it all together and seeing what's the picture like, more or less. And I would say that, yeah, actually, that's true. Probably in the end ish of this year, it's been a lot and a lot about browsers, about Web3. So, yeah, I think that we're getting somewhere with this.
Yeah, when I open my wallets, there's not many that actually support it, and it's kind of depressing. It feels like we're not progressing as quickly in certain aspects as I was hopeful of when I first got into the space in 2015. I was thinking, we'd already see these things. Like when I open a mobile wallet, I don't even have a dead man switch
Well,
as
yeah.
a default. I mean, like that's a clear security vulnerability in my mind. Like I would love that to be there for just my living will, so I could have my mom or my lawyer or somebody's address that if I were to stop interacting with my keys, that the dead man switch is triggered and the funds are sent to a lawyer or a trusted third party who can do something with the funds if I'm deceased or incapacitated. Say I'm in a coma, I have
Well,
hospital bills my Bitcoin could pay for.
that's true. That's true. Actually, yeah, that's very true. I've been talking about it with somebody actually. I think in one of the conferences because I got a question that I loved because I'm obsessed with death at some point. That like what happens to your Bitcoin when you die? Like how should we do it? And so when you mentioned it, it's kind of funny throwback. But yeah, that's very fair. I think that probably the functionality of wallets is kind of development and functionality is kind of going a different way. It's more about the management probably than thinking about this like very real life use cases because like you want to have everything in one roof, which is a great thing. But as the field progresses, is going to be more and more these little details here and there that are actually connecting our space to the outside space and just like very simple things in life.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on, wallet centralization with like, all these wallets building off of very similar APIs. So if there was like a vulnerability in one of the supporting API chains, like it would just be a vulnerability cross spread. Like I looked at a couple wallets recently and some of them use Edge Wallets API, some of them use other wallets APIs, and if there's any issues with that on that end, there's an issue going forward with like 10 wallets now, or we could see, with like I would say like corporate wallets, like where the wallet has like a business, a CEO, a CMO, the people at the other end, where regulations could then be enforced even with censorship. So like you can't list Dash, or you can't be in the U.S. or on the Google Play Store or on the iOS App Store. So now you have to take Dash off of Guarda because of censorship. So like what are your thoughts on like decentralizing these wallets and stepping away from like having a corporation behind it and just like blockchain and Bitcoin, just like here's a open source wallet. There's no company behind it.
Well, we are a company behind the wallet, so I shouldn't probably say that no, we're against it. But we have our definitely our own principles on how it should all work. So for us, actually making some solutions, working closer with the foundations of the coins that we support, and kind of being sure a project. Sure, we have CEO, CMO, and other fantastic people in the team, but the point is more about being open and being decentralized and actually having the communities and the foundations influence our work, not the other way around, probably.
Well, that's
Uh,
that's where I wanted to get through. Like the decentralization part is, you actually are uncustodial. There's no custodiation of the keys, but the corporation behind the software is centralized to an extent because of the LLC. So like we have decentralized wallets, but with centralized corporations behind them. That's where I start to worry about, again, like, governments coming in and trying to regulate you and tell you what to do, and then that could affect, the end users that have adopted or embraced the wallet.
well, yeah, I believe that from this point of view, yeah, of course, like your point totally makes sense. But for us, if somebody, it's our job to facilitate everything in such a way that we will be able to provide our services or like do it to a maximum extent. So we are the people here who are responsible for everybody who is using Guarda, and so we should really think about them first and then just do everything that nothing bad can ever happen to them or their funds. Like we don't store the funds, obviously, so we cannot say that, oh, we have been hacked or like we're not an exchange. But from the point of regulations, from the point of maintain and maintenance, from the point of some kind of law things and so on, yeah, it's on us. We should do our best. This is the point. This is kind of like a question of trust a little bit. I have been listening to way too much Depeche Mode lately also. The thing is that if you trust the people behind your wallet, then everything is good with you. I think if there is some kind of shady point and you're like, like I'm not that sure about it, maybe you should just jump out. Like seriously, we do everything for trust.
Yeah, so the reason I bring this up is we're starting to see a lot of, price movement, and price movement has the scammers and bad actors coming out of the woodwork again with, they're making fake Twitter accounts of people and send eth here type tweets coming back out, and all these pyramid schemes starting to come out. It's starting to look really good. Like I'm very bullish because of all of that. But I start to think about, where we had these my ether wallet, hacks and things, and a lot of these people are getting into these mobile wallets, downloading a wallet from the app store, not realizing that the third party keyboard they're using to type in their private key could be sniffing their keys, and now they have, lost their funds because of a third party keyboard, even though the wallet was trusted. Just
Yeah.
so from the CMO, I'm just curious, like, what are some of, like, the user errors that people can avoid? Because recently, China has hacked a lot of government websites and things, and getting past their 2FA because it was user error hack 2FA. They were going after the individuals. So there's a lot of people out there that may pair wallets, and I think pairing is probably the most toxic thing you can do with your private keys. It's super dangerous. I don't think pairing is wise. If you're going to do anything, transfer the funds completely, because typing in those private keys or scanning them could be susceptible to vulnerabilities. So just any user errors that you guys get from users on Guarda, that if somebody's going to start today, that they could avoid doing that.
Well, usually it's pretty, well, let's say basic, but I'm never tired of reminding those things. So, first of all, you have your backup. Please download it. Please download it and please save it. Because if you lose it, you're not going to be able to access your wallet at all. If you forget your password, this is the same thing. Like the thing that I'm repeating every time, from time to time, everywhere, live on Twitter, in interviews, everywhere, literally everywhere, is we're an uncustodial. We don't have your data. We don't save it. We don't store it. We're not interested in that. So when somebody says, "Oh, could you please restore the backup or the password?" Unfortunately, the answer is no.
Well, that's a great answer because you really don't want that, and especially in a non-custodial service, and even
Yeah, of
partially
course.
in a custodial service. I mean, I don't want that to be possible because then that means that somebody that works for you could decide to
Yes.
quit one day and exit like a quadriga exchange exit, leaving with all the keys. Then what do I do?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like, every time that this happens, we're releasing more materials, we're releasing more posts, we're like updating all our instructions. Like, guys, we understand that it is very challenging and you can get very hurt from losing your backup and forgetting your password. Like, your heart will be probably broken, but we just don't store it.
So
Like, that's
I've been doing something interesting to back up my keys. This might be poor OPSEC, but it's probably good advice. I've been taking my keys and encrypting the downloaded file with a password on top of that. So you would need the password to unlock that file, and then I've been storing that on a password manager, one of those applications that manages all those files, and that is encrypted as well. So it's a lot of cumbersome security, but it's my livelihood, my funds, my banking is basically this, and it's not just that. I've been actually doing this with different files, pictures, videos, whatever. I've been backing up more thoroughly now and stopped using things like Google Drive and Dropbox as much, and been
wow.
using my own like flash drives. I have like a 1 terabyte hard drive now at home, so I don't have to use the cloud as much because a lot
Yeah.
of people store their private keys on the fucking cloud. They'll take a screenshot and then they'll save it on Google Drive or Dropbox, and that's it. That's their backup. They screenshotted it.
Guys, don't do that. Just please listen to this man in here. He's saying the truth. Like, preach, brother. This is very true. Please don't do such things. I understand that this is probably convenient, but the more you're in the space, the more you start thinking, and this is very true thing that you said, that you started backing up more, a password for a password for a password on top of it,
Right?
like
I mean,
password.
I know it doesn't seem like a lot of money today if you have what $1,000 worth of some crypto, but if you had $1,000 worth of crypto 5 years ago, say of Ethereum, you'd have a hell of a lot more to worry about, which means that you should always, that convenience should always be put aside for the security. Uh,
Yeah, that's true. And so, like, the responsibility of fund management overall, and um, thoughtfulness of the process, and doing your research. This is a super cheesy phrase. Everybody says that, but it's so true. I, it's so true. Just please, just do research in advance. Listen to some people, read something, understand how it works, understand how to keep everything safe. That it's not very good to share your private keys with your relatives, for example, because as much as I love my relatives, but not everybody is nice people. But so, like, don't trust anybody. Just that's it.
so
So those are some common user mistakes, and
So we got the mistakes out of the way. I want to move on to what's holding adoption back. What's preventing people, you think, in your opinion, from, experimenting with this? More people, to download the crypto wallets and play around with them and get more involved. Is there anything that we could do or wallets could do to make on ramping and adoption easier?
sure, like, actually, wallets are doing a lot to make adoption easier because, first of all, when you're new to the crypto space, when you're talking about total beginners, you're like, okay, everything seems really complicated. You go Google something and you're like, oh my God, this is like some technology in here which I probably don't understand. Whoa, what do I do? And so, from the point of wallets as service providers, actually, we can, first of all, help on board because you need a wallet anyway.
Yep.
If you want to manage crypto, there is no chance you're not going to use a wallet. Then we can give advice because we're pretty trustworthy, so we can actually definitely not investing advice. This is totally different, but at least security tips, at least something, some basic information. when it comes from a reliable source, it instantly becomes better. We can guide through, and we can actually establish, it's something that I've already said before, I think, that we can provide one interface for you to manage everything at once, which is definitely a convenience point. So whenever you go, I don't know, to your bank app, it's not just one currency there, but you can like manage everything. You can send somebody, you can get a loan, you can, I don't know, make a new card, and it's all in one thing. And from the point of cryptocurrency wallets, that happens to start from very, very simple applications that can just transact, and in some cases also exchange. But back in the day, this was not even very popular. Right now, it's like super insane management platforms. And with this development, if we're taking development of wallets this way, and when we think about functionality, yeah, wallets are doing a hell of a lot to the space and actually helping on ramp all these people who are just super new, not understanding everything, basically anything. And of course, yeah, it's for us as a wallet, it's important to just understand the user journey. So first of all, you're like, oh, I should buy some crypto because you don't have any, or I don't know, your friend sends you some. What are the steps that you need to take before you become more advanced? And what are the things that you need to do to your cryptocurrency? So like whether you would like an exchange, so we need to provide exchange. You would like to sell at some point, okay, we need to provide sell. What else would you like to do? If you're interested in some specific currency, it has some specific features, it might be interesting to integrate it to get it into the wallet as well. So all of this thinking about the product and about what's going on in the space and how to just enhance it is basically wallet development. And that's what it does to adoption.
Yeah, that all-in-one is what I'm waiting for. We're still, very far from seeing that. And that's why I think when I mentioned earlier is like wallets becoming browsers, browsers becoming wallets.
Yeah.
Even traditional wallets, from like PayPal or Venmo, but specifically Cash App, they've recently adopted Bitcoin. And
Yeah.
it's interesting to think of the competition now that these legacy industries may actually cause towards the independent wallet industries of crypto is if PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, they start adopting and supporting Bitcoin. Obviously Venmo or Cash App's custodial. You do not get your keys at all, so it's totally different. But I think that could impose a threat. I think into crypto by centralization. Where censorship could be imposed, funds can be confiscated. It's actually the complete opposite of what Bitcoin really is. When we start using Bitcoin on apps like Cash App that are going to say, "Oh, we noticed you sent Bitcoin to a sex worker, so we're going to freeze your funds. Sorry, we don't fucks with cam girls." And like that happens with PayPal. Like recently, all over Twitter, a lot of sex workers were like, "Hey, my PayPal just got frozen. I can't access my funds. I've lost my money, and they're not giving it back."
Well, yeah.
And a lot of problems. So like this could happen with Bitcoin with that centralization, but the other side of that sword is the ease of on ramping, the ease of adoption. When PayPal already has users and they just see, hey, we have Bitcoin now. What are your thoughts on that? Do I have like a tinfoil hat always on when I'm looking at things like Cash App adopting Bitcoin. It scares me more than it excites me. But then again, I'm like, oh, mass adoption, yay. But then I'm like, oh, it's actually
Wait,
like, yeah, it's mass scamming.
well, I have been talking about it when I was in Malta. We had a pretty nice discussion about banks starting working with cryptocurrencies, actually. So I think that from the point of all these services, like very centralized, very legacy, as you said, accepting Bitcoin and starting operate with Bitcoin, of course, at first you're like, ah, yeah, this is true adoption. When this like giants start managing cryptocurrency, it's something good. So when you think that, okay, the field is growing, it becomes more accessible, all these things. But also, then you stop for a moment and you're like, yeah, there are the problems that you have mentioned. That's the first thing. And probably they're just not meant to manage cryptocurrency because
Exactly.
it's it's for fiat. So this is just a totally different system. It's traceable. It's it works different ways. It doesn't need it needs a lot of maintenance, but it's a different kind of maintenance. And when you think about cryptocurrency wallet providers, and this is actually the thing that I have been saying, because there were a lot of people asking, like, oh, when banks will start working with crypto, like when will we see this merger in between cryptocurrency wallets and like bank apps, for example. First of all, is this already happening? And second, the bad thing about it is that traditional finance and all these guys, the services making traditional finance possible, like Cash App and all those guys, they're not really going for an advice or for I don't know, guidance for integration with cryptocurrency related companies that only focus on cryptos. So they just do it some kind of their own way that they think is right, but I'm not sure that they really understand how the field works and how it functions at all. And this is a point that kind of a point of concern when you're like, oh, this is very hype kind of thing. Like everybody talks about Bitcoin and stuff. There are conferences, there are people definitely using it. Let's get it in. But did they actually think about it? I don't know. And so I believe that cryptocurrency wallets probably should stay cryptocurrency wallets, and the cash management apps like the dollars, euros, pounds, whatever, they should probably do their own thing too. And there is no such a need to kind of get it
Yeah,
pushed together forcefully. Probably there are people who find it convenient, but also when you are using a service like this, you should just know that there are some downsides.
yeah,
And when
I
you're
couldn't agree more.
when we are using just a crypto wallet, like Warda, like Ledger, I don't know, any kind of wallet, then it's totally different and it works differently.
Yeah, the cash apps, not just cash app, but all of those cash apps, they should stay in their lane, like you said, you know. And I think that stable coins are actually decreasing the desire for fiat off and on ramps because of the tax implications of the cashing in and out of crypto. People are starting to avoid that a little bit by obfuscating back into stable coins rather than cash. You know, and I think that being able to use services like Celsius Network to get like 8% on your stablecoin
Oh
rather
yeah,
than, you know, 0.001% on your actual fiat, there is a huge now incentive to not cash out. There's a bigger incentive to stablecoin out. And I think that a lot of wallets that are burning their fuel trying to figure out fiat off and on ramps, it doesn't make any sense. I don't think that there is a huge demand for that as much as there is for trading, like trading your stable coin for
yeah.
Bitcoin.
The stable coins are definitely quite a thing. Like quite a thing is very bad way to put it, but they're huge because this is so much easier.
People thought Bitcoin was going to kill the dollar. I believe stable coins will.
Well, I don't think anything actually will kill the dollar, but not in our
When
life.
I
That
say the dollar, I mean the petrodollar. The US enforced petrodollar that every government needs to use to buy oil. Like that
well,
dollar will be replaced. Russia and Iran and other countries, China, they all want to get away from the petrodollar. And stable coins, I believe, makes that more possible than volatile assets like Bitcoin.
yeah, that's true. Stable coins are just so much more convenient. And when you think about all the volatility of the market, if you're trading especially, why would you go fiat crypto, fiat crypto, fiat crypto all the time when you can just do crypto crypto and have the same result as you would do with fiat?
Yep, and a lot of services are accepting crypto, and I, you know, don't have to cash out because I can spend it. So there's even, and as more and more of these merchants and platforms are adopting it, there's less and less reason to actually cash out as people get into this. If they're going to assume profits, they're probably going to assume profits by getting a gift card or buying goods or getting services, uh,
Yeah,
booking a vacation, even Expedia or whatever. They accept Bitcoin, so you can book a vacation with your crypto rather than cashing out. You can
sure, yeah.
get a
Like Ultra
vacation.
do the same thing.
Yeah, Travalia, yeah, they just started doing crypto. You know, I book every flight that I've ever used. You know, been on an airplane. I've used Cheap Air, and I've used either Bitcoin or Dash or Litecoin or some crypto to book every time I've ever been on a flight. I've never used fiat.
Damn, impressive. That's cool. So this is the way. this is adoption too. So you've been asking about wallets before. What should wallets do? We kind of got to these points, but also it's this acceptance. So when the services, when the merchants started accepting cryptocurrency, when you can actually put it to use in your everyday life in some very, very simple activities, traveling, buying groceries, I don't know what, paying for gas, anything, this is the point. So when this starts happening more and more, you're like, oh, wait, this is not just for some group of geeks, as
Right.
some people like, oh, yeah, cryptocurrency. Like my parents say that all the time for people. They're like, oh, this is like for I don't know
Well, that's what
who.
they used to say credit cards were for, just rich people, you know? Like, Diner Club card was only for the elite rich people. Nobody had a credit or debit card back in the day when they first came out. It was an elitist. And right now, the nerds, we are the elites, right? Like, nerdism has become an elitism. Like it or not, world. Like, the nerds are now the jocks. We are cool as fuck.
Well, that's true. I cannot deny that. That this is very true.
So like the paradigm has shifted, right? And we're gonna see, the same takeoff. But I wanted to segue into a topic before we wrap things up because I know you had a meeting and we had issues getting this live stream going.
Oh, well, now it's
But
totally fine. So
but username and password esque ease of use, right? Like where you log into a wallet with a username or password, or you want to send somebody an asset, you don't want to have to go through a weird private key string like what's really on the back end of an email address. We've seen email addresses, become at gmail.com when it used to be a convoluted process to send a message to somebody, very similar to sending a Bitcoin transaction. It was a very long string of nonsense. And a protocol was designed to make it convenient and easier to send an email. And I think I stumbled onto, unstoppable domains. And
oh yeah, wait.
I claimed kenbozak.crypto, and people can send Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash to kenbozak.crypto. But
Yeah.
that's only if a wallet has integrated unstoppable domains. Have you integrated with them?
Yep.
Oh,
So
I got more reasons to check out your wallet every time you answer a question. All right. What was that like, and why aren't more wallets doing this? Because so far, the only wallet besides yours I've noticed was Koinami supporting the
there are
domain
more
names.
actually right now, but it's definitely became quite a trend, and we have been among probably the first wallets to jump onto the bandwagon of unstoppable
Is
domains.
it
We
a
have
difficult integration, or is there any security risks? I'm wondering why more wallets haven't integrated this feature.
actually you should check the list because there are definitely more than just Konami and us. As far as we're concerned, we have checked everything and there should be no vulnerabilities or any kind of problems. It took a little bit to integrate it. It was probably, I don't even remember how much time did it actually take for us to integrate it, but it was kind of long-ish. But it definitely, for us, it's a great thing because first of all, it eases the process. You don't have to go through all these numbers and letters and be just like, oh God, you have a name. So I think I claimed several. I don't know why I need several, but there's definitely like,
Squatter.
yeah, no. And it's one of them is like Carola dot Guarda or something like that. I'm very proud of it and I love it. And we actually have two systems like this. We have Unstoppable Domains and we have FIO, Foundation of Interwallet Operability. Yeah, that's right.
FIO, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was
And
actually just talking to Robert Beatles of Monarch Wallet, which is one of the sponsors of my podcast, about FIO actually.
oh, cool,
So,
cool.
actually, would you be able to elaborate what the difference is between like something like Unstoppable Domains and what FIO offers, or FIO?
Well, this is kind of like the system is, at least what we have integrated is pretty much similar. So this is domains for a particular wallet, so particular currency that you can just easily transact, not go through numbers and letters, just use the name. But as far as I know, as companies, they're doing some quite different things. So they have a little bit of different paths because FIO is also doing loans, I think, as well. I
Yeah,
might be wrong,
I think
but
so.
This I haven't really been digging into details on this yet because they still have the kind of claiming process. They still have a pre-sale running. So right now, actually, all the addresses are free on Guarda. So you guys who are there, go and claim your addresses. It's not going to be free forever, I believe. And so this is kind of like our a little integration present for all the community because
So if they
it's
go and download the Guarda wallet, they can get their free FIO domain name for their address.
also actually to take part in a giveaway of 250 bucks, which is a nice plus.
Now I have like 20,000 more reasons to download this wallet. And you know what's funny? I probably have like 50 wallets, and people judge me for using more than one wallet. Like I believe in like security, right? Like I don't want to have all my assets in one place. I like this. I like having 30 wallets with different uses for each wallet and different things, because if there's any ever issue with one, it's not 100% of an issue. It's a 10% issue because I have
That's
multiple.
very true.
So I like, and I like because multiple walls have different features and different things going on. You know,
And also,
it's
it's more
interesting to play
interesting.
around.
Like the more you try, the more you know. And so whenever you try Guarda, just drop us a message as well, and we will like kind of flow in our feedback sources because this is great. We love feedback. Like
Well,
you
I'm
have no.
definitely checking it out for the Steam It part of the wallet, and I definitely got to claim my domain name because I actually haven't done that outside of the smart or unstoppable domains.
Okay.
I have like my Ethereum name service domain. I have the unstop. I play around with a lot of it. I've even made my own shit coins on probably four different blockchains, and I have non-fungible tokens with my face on it on like three blockchains. So
Not bad.
I'm out there playing around with this stuff, trying to figure out how easy it is to use, and it's at the point it is so easy that I don't understand why these legacy industries haven't embraced it and adopted it yet, and waiting for like these AAA games like Blizzards to start tokenizing their in-game assets, or that like more of those browsers have like Chrome eventually integrating a Bitcoin wallet because other
Yeah.
browsers are doing it. It's going to put them in a position where they feel like they probably should do it, and they will. I'm really excited about the future of crypto mobile wallets because I think that just like calling Bitcoin digital gold is discrediting Bitcoin at an extent because it is so much more than digital gold.
Yeah, this
It's
is not just like a nice phrase. It shouldn't be taken too seriously, I
right, but
think.
I feel like the same should be with wallet. Calling this a wallet is such a disservice to the actual process or services that it provides because it is more than a wallet. It's I don't even know the term yet because these terms haven't been defined. The vernaculars haven't been created to describe or explain our environment. So we're holding to terminologies that are legacy, like digital gold or like wallet. But
That's
it's
not
not
something
what
that
we're
we
using. It's so
create
much
either.
more.
Like, oh well, we just have a word that everybody kind of uses, so we should just put it there and everybody will understand. But there's no terminology that has been developed particularly for the field yet. Well, time will come. Anyway, I believe in it.
Well, back to the Cash App, they weren't always called Cash App. They had to change their name because the community kept referring to them as Cash App or the Cash App. So they actually
Oh,
bent to the will of the community and changed their name. So like that does happen. Communities do affect legacy industries, and the communities do have huge effects on that when it comes to terminologies. So expect when these millennials start to get into the space, we have younger and younger audiences utilizing the currency and technology, that these phrases will be created, and we have no clue what they are yet, but they will make much more sense than the word wallet because
sure.
it's so much more than that. And I guess to kind of wrap this up and run on that is, for 2019 coming to an end, the year 2020 just starting to kick off, what's the roadmap look like for Guarda and your wallet?
Oh, let me start with something. It's packed. It's just packed. It has so much in it. We're right now, what we're doing is we're not like integrating like crazy with all the new features and all this stuff. We're just kind of working on smaller things, on the stability, on the usability, on the design, on blah blah blah, all of that to kind of just slow down at the end of the year. but afterwards we're gonna pick up our favorite thing and just start doing like new features again. It's gonna be exciting, I promise you that. I cannot probably elaborate on what exactly is going to be released and when, but what I can say that it's a lot. It's a lot of currency specific features. It's a lot of actually a lot of functionality, like extra things. It's already kind of in development, so it should be released pretty soon. The selling feature, for example, is kind of just somewhere very close to being out there in the public. Also, what else was there? There was so much. Of course, integrating new coins. We're always welcome into new foundations, new communities, everything. We want to play, like, kind of please everybody.
Do you run your own nodes for the coins that you support?
Always.
Okay, a lot of wallets do, some don't, so it's always worth asking because a lot of people be like, well, why don't you support this coin? And they're like, well, it costs a lot to run the node, brother. And I guess the segue into the monetization aspect, you're like, how do wallets like Warda stay above water? You know, what's the profitability or like the ROI on being a wallet? Where
Oh,
is the monetization aspect, and how does a wallet, a corporate wallet, like a company wallet that has a team behind it, pay their employees by being a wallet?
so there are several things that you can do when you're a wallet because first of all, wallets are super hard to make money on. This is just guys, if you're considering a business, probably think twice about wallets. But the thing is that you can have additional services, you can have integrations that are paid for example, you can work with some coins, you can work for grants, which is a thing that we have been doing quite a bit and it's great. So when you develop something specifically for certain coin or certain service, we did application for shielded transactions like this for Zcash, for Zcash Foundation grant. Actually, it was the first one to go mainnet, and it's for
Congrats.
yeah. Thank you. It was in the beginning of this summer, and it's actually like the only lightweight mobile wallet that supports Zcash shielded.
So
So this is great.
basically, wallets participate in bounty programs
Yeah,
essentially.
yes. And if you're capable of doing such things, if your development team is good enough, and if your kind of interactions with everybody are good enough, and if you can understand the demand for a certain feature or certain product, then life is not that hard on you. But you need to understand it.
Definitely. Well, I do have one request for the team, and it would be for non fungible tokens. I think, having collectibles and things like that, the in game assets that are now being tokenized, I think, what would have a lot of the youth adopting this isn't so much for getting rid of the banks or, screw fiat, man. It's more so for having ease of use of their assets for the games that they play, and I think that would be more of a Trojan horse aspect. So, if anything I could request is a non fungible token support in the wallet, because I think NFTs are the on ramp. I think that non fungibles is the ramp that will be used for most people to cross over into cryptocurrency.
Yeah, we have collectibles on Ethereum already, like ERC-721. They're already supported, so you can check it out. But
Yeah,
always open to ideas too.
Yeah, I was gonna say Engine has collectibles, and what they're doing right now, I think, is really amazing with like the legacy gaming industries. They're working very heavily with Ubisoft and a
Oh,
lot of
wow.
these programming platforms that legacy gamers already utilize to design applications, and it's as easy as a click of a button to tokenize a skin now. So it's not so much work for these developers thanks to these platforms and projects.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, noted.
So
Fine.
Guarda supports crypto kitties. If I had a crypto kitty, I could see my kitty in the Guarda wallet.
Yeah, you
Yo,
can.
y'all got a lot going on. Like dead serious. I'm gonna have to download this wallet. Like I said, y'all just got on my radar, and I saw Lab said he just downloaded the wallet. My bro. I have a small bug where the wallet only maximizes on this side of the desktop. So he may have a bug in the wallet. Reach out to the team. Maybe
Yeah,
send.
please do. If you have some questions, if you have something else to add, if there is any point of concern that you might have, just either message our support. They're amazing. It's support@guarda.co, or I don't know, reach me on Twitter. It's at Maria Carola through J, and we will definitely discuss everything, and I'm gonna answer all your questions, or just reach Guarda on Twitter. We are super friendly.
Well,
Don't.
this is, Gorda did not pay me for this, all right? But after this interview, I'm serious. I'm going to download the wallet. I'm going to claim my FIO name for sure. That enters me for the $250 giveaway that you're doing. And you support NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain. You potentially, I believe, support Steam It, which is insanely freaking cool. Guys, there's a lot of reasons to check out this wallet, man. And how long has Gorda been around? Because I'll be honest, I feel like not hearing about it and hearing how much you have going on. I'm just curious, like, how old are you? Like the company?
We have been around from 2017,
Oh
so
wow.
this is like this
So
is quite some time when you think about it.
for sure, no, you definitely. I mean, survived the bear market. I mean,
Yeah,
you've come a long way. You didn't disappear. So, congrats on that.
thank you.
I guess to wrap up, one last question here. I'm just out of curiosity. Do you know how many downloads or users you have actively on the wallet? Just out of curiosity.
It's around 100,000 monthly active users, more or less. Cannot be more specific, just not to lie to you.
Wow. All right. Well, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you download the Gorda wallet, just hit me up with your feedback in the comments section. Let me know what you think, and drop your FIO domain name in the comments below. I'll surprise somebody on Christmas or something because it's
Nah.
such an amazing feature, and I think like Unstoppable Domains, what they're doing too is just so great for user adoption and wallet integration, and it's just awesome to see wallets and apps like Warda, partnering outside. And I hate seeing monopolies and umbrellas where a company wants to do everything all on their own, and I like seeing teamwork. It makes the dream work. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on and doing this. Hopefully we can do it again. I could do this for a fucking another hour because I have so many questions about wallets.
I would love to. Why don't we do it again? Probably. Also, I'm gonna drop my video name just in case I probably should.
Yeah, definitely do that on the YouTube. If you guys are watching, fuck YouTube. By the way, they're probably gonna delete this because they hate crypto and they're censoring. But it's the easiest one to find programs that will actually pick a genuine random comment, so it's like I'm not cheating or being biased. So if you drop your FIO Bitcoin domain name in the YouTube chat, I can pick an honest random winner. So that's probably the best way if you guys are watching this. But yeah, you can get the free name on the damn Gorda app. Like, I'm doing that. Don't you claim my name. Oh shit. I hope there's a way to. Alright, I gotta go. I gotta claim my name before somebody else does. Shit.
Yeah, you gotta be fast because you already told that, and it was a while ago. So probably the
I
name is.
fucked up. Maria, I fucked up. Ah, son of a bitch. All right, I'm gonna have to get something going. I gotta do this ASAP. Thank you so much though for coming on. And if you don't mind, maybe schedule something for next month. We can do a little something, and not so much Gorda. We could just shoot the shit genuinely about the wallets in general and stuff. But I really wanted to get to know about Gorda, which is why I was made it so much about the wallet today.
Sure, sure. Like I would love that because it's been an amazing chat. I loved every part of it. We had quite some fun. I don't feel bad about like being in the office 3 hours before Christmas anymore. It's so great.
Oh,
So
where
we
are you
should,
calling in from? 3 hours.
yeah, I'm from Vilnius and we have the headquarters in
Oh.
Tallinn. And so like, damn,
Yeah,
I'm definitely.
it's 1:30 in the afternoon here, so you're in the future right now.
Yeah, I send you regards from the future. Everything looks as green as in the past. Just
Well, you
there's.
better get to sleep because he's watching, and Santa won't show up if you're awake.
No.
So, Maria, thank you again. Tell everybody at Gorda that I say, I appreciate what they're doing, and I'll be one of their new users. So, shout out to the team, shout out to you, and everybody watching. Definitely go ahead, download the app, get your FIO name, enter the win of $250, and happy HODL days, bros. Enjoy the season. We're out of here.
Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like SOME.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review, available for Android and iOS devices, bravocoin.com. Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like SOME.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media.